Hey, Joshua here. So, today I wanted to talk about how to break free from the perpetual loop of always being in what I call prep mode and actually breaking free from always prepping, and always trying to learn more instead of actually acting out the things that you're preparing yourself for and acting out the things that you fundamentally need to act out from everything that you've learned. Because really the whole point of prepping and the whole point of learning is to actually do the things, is to actually act out, is to behave and to do the actions, right? And the thing that is kind of tricky is that prepping, learning, and all of that feels kind of addictive in a way where when you're learning, you feel that sense of, oh, I'm growing. Oh, I'm actually learning more. I'm actually growing. I'm becoming better, becoming better. But the thing is, you're not even actually acquiring knowledge because knowledge is a little bit of knowing what to do and actually exercising it. You know more. That's all, really. But you're not experienced in any way. You just know more. You haven't acted out anything. So that feeling of thinking that you're actually growing is addictive because you're growing, and it gives you like a positive kind of a stimulus response. And you keep on trying to do that and perpetually, and you're in that perpetual loop of always doing it over and over again, but you're not actually acting out anything. So what I believe that is the best practice is that you jump in, I'd say, sorry, 60 to 70% ready. I'd say 50, 60, 70% ready. You gauge. Obviously, it's different for everyone. And you just jump in and figure it out as you go. Because truly, figuring it out as you go means that you are going to fail. You're going to fall a lot of times. You'll have to get up and you'll have to find a way, whether it's through help with someone or through by yourself. You'll have to iterate. You'll have to make the process better. You'll have to look back, look at your failures because you've actually been in the field now instead of prepping yourself for so many months and so many years. You're actually now in the field. You failed. You look back, you look at your failure and like, okay, what can I do now? Why was I tired for the past month? Okay, I slept late. Let's iterate. Let's make that better, right? I just give a random example. So I could give you a good example. Look at this. Imagine someone who is building an armor, right? He's building his armor, right? Imagine yourself, paint this picture, a guy in the medieval times with the swords and all of that. He's building his armor, and the whole procedure, the whole, not the procedure, the whole experiment, we'll say, lasts a year. And this guy is building his armor for 11 months, okay? And then there's the other guy who's building his armor for 1 month, okay? And the rest of the year, the rest of the experiment, he's been in the field. Guess who's gonna come out with more experience, more actually learning way more than that whole prep. Obviously, the second guy, because the guy who's been building for 11 months, he's gonna come out on the at the end of the 11th month, entering the 12th month, right? He'll enter December and be like, okay, now we're going into the field. He's going into the field. He has probably the most armored armor. I don't know if that makes sense. He has the most armored thing ever, right? He's coming in super heavy, like guns are blazing, shots going everywhere, and just going ding ding. But he has zero experience compared to the other guy. He doesn't really have the best armor, but he knows how to maneuver around the field. He knows how to take cover. He knows how to handle a gun. He knows how to shoot a gun. At the beginning, he failed. He didn't really know how to take cover because he got shot. So he looked back at the past. He took feedback. He didn't know how to aim a gun. He was aiming and he never hit his shot. He looks back. He looks back at the past and he looks, okay, what can I make better? And through that, through falling, getting up, and iterating your process, you actually become better. The other one has nothing. The guy who has 11 months of making his armor, yes, he has a pretty cool armor, but he has no experience. So if they were both to face off, just remembered, I told you to paint a picture for medieval times, and now I was talking about guns, but I'm sure you understand. Sure you understand. If they were both to face off, obviously the guy who has the not so good armor would completely destroy him. So that's my whole point. Basically, is that you want to really not overthink it. You have to understand that you will fail. I was just looking back at the video, and I forgot to give you one other thing that I just remembered. You don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. What am I talking about when I say spectrum? Is that you don't want to prepare yourself for 3 months, nor that you want to be running inside like the guy who's been making his armor for 1 month. You don't want to run inside with absolutely nothing, just like a headless chicken, right? You want to find a kind of a middle ground. Obviously, you gauge because you know yourself better, but also you don't want to be you don't want to succumb to your mind's resistance saying, oh, you need more temptation. And Josh said that you know yourself better. You know yourself better, but at the same time, yourself also tries to bait you into not working and into prepping more and doing and learning more instead of actually acting out, right? Because the whole point is to break free from that loop, which that loop is given by your mind, right? So it's neither black or white. You have to find that gray zone, whether it's gray like a dark gray, whether it's gray on a lighter gray, right? You find it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm happy that I remembered that. Oftentimes, we we continue to prepare and continue to learn because we're escaping from an emotion, right? Most of the time, it's an emotion or a feeling. Really, is that feeling of, oh, I feel like I'm not gonna be good. Like I need to prepare more. I'm going to suck. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going to suck. Like obviously you're going to suck. I feel uncertain. Yeah, yeah. Uncertainty is like everywhere. Like no one's really certain of anything. The only way you really build certainty is by trusting yourself now that whatever is going to happen, you learn from it. Just like the guy who built his armor for just 1 month and then went on into the field and actually learned. He trusted himself in my example. He trusted himself. He was like, okay, I'm uncertain. My armor isn't so good. I have zero skills in how to handle a gun, how to handle a sword, how to take cover. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't even know the whole field. Like, I don't know nothing. Like, zero. But then, month 10, month 11, he's an expert because he has been looking again, looking back at the past and iterating and trying to see what he can make better. So that's my whole point. You build certainty by trusting yourself that whatever you put yourself into, whatever it is, you'll be good. Because you know you could look back at the past, forgive yourself immensely for missing all the shots, being hit because you didn't take good cover enough, right? You are so self-forgiving and you look back at the past and being like, okay, what can I do? Because self-forgiving, why I'm saying that is because most of the time, people who look back at the past, instead of looking back for feedback, most of the time they do look back for feedback, but they also get mixed with emotions of, oh, look how I failed back there. Like, I'm such a failure. And it happens like it's crazy how it happens to me, like crazy amounts, you know? But you have to forgive yourself to the max because you can't change that. You can't change that. And it doesn't serve you anything to just beat yourself up. It takes energy from you. It makes you doubt yourself more. It makes you want to quit even more. It makes you think that you're not cut out for it. You just forgive yourself. Like, just forgive yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point. You've done what you've done, whether it was complete horror, like a disaster of a thing. You've been an alcoholic for your whole life. Okay, now you've been an alcoholic for 40 years. You're now 41. Today I'm not an alcoholic. I decided so. Like you know, I don't think you could decide to not be an alcoholic, but let's say you all of a sudden you finally beat your alcoholism. I don't know how to call it. There's no point of looking back for the past 40 years and being, oh, such a failure. Okay, you failed, but you are not a failure, right? I heard this thing from how Stephen Curry, we all know who he is. When he shoots a shot and it doesn't go in, he never says, I missed the shot. He says it didn't go in. You basically detach yourself, right? What you do is not who you are, right? Your actions and who you are completely different. You could decide to be whoever you want to be. You could decide that at any given moment. I'm a superstar and I'm going to act like it. I'm a superstar. I'm this, I'm that. Boom. Your actions might not align with it, but now you make them align with it. You know what I mean? You look back at the past and now you make it better. So if it happens that you are a an online coach. I have a school community, school being the platform where I host my community for online coaches, basically any online coaches, for them to chat. It's basically called Coaches Lounge, for them to chat about their wins, about their problems, about anything that has to do with their niche, about how to maneuver around content, how to build a better product, a better service online. Basically, everything that has to do with online coaching. And you learn from one another. And so I'm excited to see you there. Thank you for sticking along and see you. Bye bye.